Ladies and gentlemen, I once again welcome you to another enlightening edition of Sports for Less Daily Updates. So far, so good for the Super Falcons in the 2025 WAFCON tournament in Morocco. They are etching their names into the history book of this edition's WAFCON tournament. It's a piece of good news for Nigeria, as they are the only African country among these 12 African countries to win their first two matches in this competition. And I have to extensively talk from their camp. And as you all know, the Nigerian Football Federation, same as the head coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Sekuchel, have been very proactive in their drive to strengthen the Super Eagles of Nigeria's team with European-born of Nigerian descent. So far, per the reports coming in, 3 former England youth international are very eager in switching their allegiance in playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria's team. And I'm going to extensively talk from the camps of all these players. But before I proceed with the details of all these stories, if you are new on this platform, kindly support us to make the channel grow by subscribing to the channel. After that, you hit on the post notification bell for more updates. Please don't forget to like the video and share to other social media platforms. As usual, my name still remains Solomon Kwadwo Asante, your only nomenclature with engineers philosophy in sports, a Ghanaian who has declared his full support for Nigeria sports, and I've been given a Nigerian name on this platform as the only one, Solomon Chukwu Emeka. Please do well to leave your decent comments in the comment box for special shoutouts at the end of my presentation. And more, let's get straight forward into the video. To commence with is a camp of our ladies, the Super Falcons. So far, so good for them in the 2025 WAFCON tournament in Morocco. They are etching their names into the history book of this WAFCON tournament because they are the only African country among the 12 African countries competing in this WAFCON tournament to win their first two matches, not even the defending champion South Africa. And looking at this, a lot of people are bashing them with their last game against Botswana. In as much as you are bashing them, you should look at the progress of the team. They are doing well. It's not easy when it comes to a major or continental showcase. And this is what the ladies are doing. For me, I will speak effusively and enthusiastically about the team. I know they are on the verge of securing their 10th WAFCON trophy. Not even my own country, Ghana. They are not doing anything. They just play only first 15 minutes. After first 15 minutes, we are not seeing any exciting play from our Queens. And we are all quite down because we never anticipated that this will happen from our Queens. With two matches, they are having only 1 point in their group. And they are the last country in their group. And looking at the countries that we are competing with in Group C, how come can Ghana be the last country in the group? And Nigeria is doing well. We have to give them the full support. So we shouldn't bash the ladies. We should all come on board, support the ladies. They can do it and they will do it. Let's have a full glare of the standings as it stands now. Morocco, as the host country, is leading Group A with 4 points plus 2 goals. Automatically, they've qualified. Zambia automatically have qualified. 4 points plus 1 goal. Senegal, when they try, they can qualify because 2 of the best third place countries in these groups will qualify. They're having 3 points plus 3 goals. DR Congo, 0 points minus 6 goals. Let's come to Group B, where our Falcons is. Super Falcons of Nigeria, 6 points plus 4 goals. They've not considered any goal yet. What a team. Algeria, 4 points plus 1 goal. They are second in the group and automatically Nigeria have qualified. And they were even the first African country to make it to the quarterfinal stage of this competition. Tunisia is third with 1 point minus 3 goals. Botswana with fourth as the last in the group with 0 points minus 2 goals. And let's come to Group C, where my country Ghana is. South Africa is leading the table with 4 points plus 2 goals. Mali, 4 points plus 1 goal. Tanzania, they drew with the defending champions South Africa yesterday, having 1 point minus 1 goal. Ghana, the Black Queens, 1 point minus 2 goals. How come? And that is that from the 2025 WAFCON tournament. And let me give you the schedule for Nigeria versus Algeria. That is their last group game of Group B for the Super Falcons. It will happen on Sunday, that is just tomorrow, the 13th of July 2025. Exactly 8 p.m. Nigeria time, same time against Botswana, 7 p.m. Ghana time, and 9 p.m. South Africa time as to how to watch the match. There are a lot of websites that you can log in on the various web browsers to have a view of it. We will try as much as possible to keep you updated with as we are going to watch the match. And that is that from the 2025 WAFCON tournament in Morocco. Let me now shift my focus to nationality switch. I will always talk about this because I've already stated on this platform that football is not just a game. We play football on the field of play, even off the field of play, with identity, heritage, and pride. When you are to see a Nigerian player playing in Europe, you say, "Oh, this is my brother." When you are to see a Ghana player playing in Europe, you say, "This is my Ghanaian brother." And that is that for that. Even those players who have not even switched their allegiance to play for the Nigerian national team, the likes of Bukayo Saka and others, when you are to see them playing for Arsenal and England, you are very proud that they are being representing other national teams, but they are of Nigerian descent. And I have to talk about other players who are very eager in switching their allegiance in playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria team. And as you all know, the Nigerian Football Federation and Eric Sekuchel, the head coach of the Super Eagles now, they've tried as much as possible. They'll be very proactive in their drive to strengthen the Super Eagles of Nigeria's team with these European-born of Nigerian descent. Especially, they are looking at Europe's top 5 leagues like the EPL, Bundesliga, La Liga, French League, and the others in order to get the quality players to strengthen the Super Eagles of Nigeria's team. In as much as people are not happy with these players coming on board to play for the Eagles, they are also coming in to culturally connect with us. They are coming to impact us with their talent, and they are coming in with their passion. So whatever it is, with the qualities that they have, if they can augment or strengthen our squad list, we should welcome them because they are our own brothers. Just that when our parents, especially when our fathers went outside, they went to do their job. But before I get into the nationality switch video, let's check this one from Oluwa Tosin Adarabiayu.
What's your favorite Nigerian dish? Okra soup. Okay. Nice one. Thank you very much. See you in the finals.
And that is it. Oluwa Tosin has spoken about his favorite Nigerian food. And I wish one Nigerian brother will invite me to Nigeria to have a taste of this food. I know it's very quality and it's very good to taste. And that is that. All right. The first player to talk about is Oluwa Tosin Adarabiayu, who is mononymously called Tosin. That is the name we used to call him. He currently plays for Chelsea and is making waves for Chelsea in the Club World Cup tournament in the United States of America. So far, it's going to be PSG versus Chelsea in the grand finale stage of this competition. He was born on the 27th of September 1997. Currently, he is 27 years. Just this September, he will be 28 years. I've spoken voluminously about this player on this platform about his switching his allegiance in playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The last time he spoke about nationality switch, he said he's very open to having conversation with Eric Sekuchel, the head coach of the Super Eagles, and to see that whether the project befits him in order to acclimatize with the system of Nigeria. He will just switch his allegiance to come and play for Nigeria. And that is it. He is a center back, and he being a center back, looking at his attributes that can have an impact on the Nigerian defenders is one, he is an aerial duel expert. You can't doubt him. Looking at his height on the field of play, his position, when there's a battle in the air, he can go in for that duel and win that duel as well. And that is that from him. Aside that, he is very progressive on the field of play with the ball, and he's able to give all these short passes, long passes as a center back. In as much as he's giving long and short passes too, he's very elite when it comes to being short speed sprints on the field of play. That is that from Oluwa Tosin Adarabiayu. The second player to talk about after Oluwa Tosin Adarabiayu is Faustino Adebola Rashid Anjorin. He's called Tino. That is what he's mononymously called. And I've once spoken about him on this platform. He currently plays for Torino in the Serie A. He was born on the 23rd of November 2001. So currently he's just 23 years of age. And looking at his skills, his attributes on the field of play, he befits the Super Eagles of Nigeria's team. if and only if he can play as he's playing for his club side, Torino. He was born in England to Nigerian parents, but he's of Nigerian Igbo descent. This is a player, when started his football, he started from Chelsea Football Club. So he has risen through the youth levels of Chelsea, same as Tosin Adarabiayo. But he didn't play for Chelsea first team. Then he went to Torino to play in the Serie A. He's having the qualities as a midfielder in terms of he being a creative player on the field of play, a creative playmaker as well. Same as he's very strong in terms of dribbling and he's a ball retainer in the midfield. He's very versatile. Versatile in terms of he predominantly playing as an attacking midfielder. He can also play as a defensive midfielder, same as a central midfielder. And that is that from his camp. He's also ready in switching his allegiance in playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The last former England Youth International who is ready to represent the Super Eagles of Nigeria. He plays his club football for Everton in the EPL. His name is Tim Erebunam. And looking at his performances so far and his attributes on the field of play, he's also a midfielder, but he plays as a defensive midfielder, same as a central midfielder, meaning he normally shields the defenders, that is from the right back, left back to the center pair on the field of play. And these are his qualities. He is a box-to-box player, same as he's having this defensive tenacity. You can't dribble past him. There's no way Tim will allow you to do that job on the field of play. Aside that, there is a player who is having that tactical intelligence on the field of play, in terms of the midfield on the field of play. That is quite good to see from Tim, who currently plays for Everton and is ever ready to represent Nigeria. He was born on the 30th of June 2003. Currently, he is 22 years and is ever ready, as per reports, to represent Nigeria. So these are some of the qualities in order for them to impact the Super Eagles of Nigeria team. I always have to authenticate their qualities for you to get to know the kind of players these players are when they are to get their way out into the Super Eagles of Nigeria team. And per whatever explanation I've given about or have spoken about on this platform about these players are coming in from the Nigerian Football Federation chieftain. He has disclosed that they are just making any advancements on their plans in getting all these three players in playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria because they've said yes to Nigeria and they are ever ready to represent the Super Eagles. And he even spoke about they are just going to start their nationality switch process before the start of next season. That is before August 2025. Let's see how things will pan out from these players as they are ready to switch their allegiance. But let me just buttress it with what this Nigerian Football Federation chieftain has to say regarding the players that I've given you their background checks as to they being ready to represent the Super Eagles of Nigeria. He started by saying, three names, including Tosin Adarabiayu of Chelsea, Tino Anjorin, who just joined Torino, and Tim Erebunam of Everton, are interested in the Super Eagles projects and will apply for the switch of nationality next month. So, God willing, next month. All these players who are former England Youth International will switch to play for Nigeria. We are just waiting. We've kept our fingers crossed to see how things will transpire from their nationality switch process. He ended up by saying, all three of them were established England Youth International. As usual, I've given explicit explanation about it at various levels and different times. We hope to have them soon when their switch is done. And it will be up to the coach to pick them based on form. Yes, that is it. In as much as you are switching to come and play for Nigeria, your form should be one of the things that the coach is going to check and see whether you befit the Super Eagles of Nigeria team in terms of your position. And that is that. So if you are ready to play for Nigeria, you should also come in with a form that befits the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And that is that from their camps. One player that is quite pathetic to know is the Tim Erebunam. His parents are profoundly deaf, so he has learned this British Sign Language, and it's very good when it comes to sign language. I needed to add up to his attributes as a player on the field of play. And I know it's not like they are totally deaf, but they are just profound, meaning the ability of listening is quite down. And that is that. So I needed to add up. So let me just end this presentation here and give shout out to my amazing cherished viewers in the comment box. Imani Sports, I do appreciate your support. Senzo Mela, I do appreciate your support to Sports Fella. And Paul is a prince. I appreciate your support. God says, I appreciate your support. Austin Kanem, I appreciate your support. Samuel Kayode, I appreciate your support. And a lot of commenters, a lot of names. Subsequently, I will add up those who watched but didn't comment, and all those who have commented but didn't get to know your shout outs on this platform. Subsequently, I will give it to you. Let's meet in the next one. Before that, I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, as usual, and my amazing graphic designer, Dominic. Until you meet again on this platform, it's bye for now.